Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. This is March 17th when I'm making this video. I'm off into the woods to see if I can find some maple trees to tap. This is, I guess, the third year that I've done this, so I'm far from an expert, but definitely need the snowshoes this year. I guess I was on snowshoes last year when I did this too, but definitely need them this year. I don't know what it'd be like in the woods breaking a trail here. I'm going to be trying to tap 7 trees today. I have equipment enough to do a few more than that, but I think I'll do 7 today if I can. I hope you can't see that. The camera's angled wrong, but there's rabbit tracks here not far from my house. So the poor old rabbits are still around anyway. What a horrible winter this has been. We had the big blizzard on Sunday. This is Tuesday. It's just starting to lightly spit snow here right now today. We're supposed to get some more this evening and into tomorrow, I guess. It's not supposed to be too much, maybe 10 centimeters or so. Nevertheless, more snow. I'm looking for orange, like surveyor's marker tape. I marked a lot of my maple trees well, a year and a half ago, I guess, or so now. Marked them in the summertime. Hopefully some of those markings are still existing. I don't have any really large maples, and I don't think I have any of the sugar maple, but you can make maple syrup from any maple tree. It's just that the one they call the sugar maple, which I think is also the same tree that they call a rock maple, closely related anyway, has a higher sugar content in the sap. So if you have sugar maples for a commercial operation, it's a more profitable venture. Snowshoes seem to be working quite well anyway. I'm not sinking down too far. I don't know how deep the snow would be here in the trees. Probably not as bad as it is out in open areas, but there's several feet of it for sure. More rabbit tracks. Well, I found my first tree with a tape or a ribbon on it. I guess from being in the sun, they've gone from orange to sort of a pink shade. Makes it a little harder to see them. Anyway, on my way down in here, I got thinking about the process and what I'll have to do. Remembered I don't have a hammer with me, so I've left my equipment at the tree and gone back to the house and got a hammer. Easy to find your way back anyway, following your own snowshoe trail. And what this tree is a cluster of trunks, which is what happens when either a maple gets blown down or cut down. This is all my property, and nothing has been cut on it in the 40-odd years that I've owned it. But prior to that, it had been logged over, and where a maple is cut, it will send up several trees from the trunk, so you end up with a multi-stemmed tree like this. So that is what we have to deal with, I guess. I may put a container on a couple of the different different stems, but I think it's all coming from the same root mass, so I don't want to overdo it. And I get turned around down in here, and besides that there isn't much sun, so they should be put on the south side, or as close to the south side as you can get. So right there is the south side of this one. So not a very large tree, but there's a larger trunk over there where I'll put a second one, I think. But as I have said, I don't think I have any really large trees on my property. Get this up at a, put it in at a slight angle. And that is roughly 3 inches. I measured the... I'm curious to see how much better my new drill does than what I was using previously. The cheap thing that I was using previously, I was lucky if I got one tree drilled before the battery was dead, but that's a DeWalt, and it certainly seems to work much better. Batteries last a long time, and I have 2 batteries. I've got them both with me. I was in the co-op farmer's store in Fredericton the other day, looking for other stuff, but I came across these. I've never had metals files before. The ones that I use are plastic. Just there's wetness there, but I'm trying to determine if it's coming out of the tree. Yes, it is, I think. Certainly no great accumulation, but I just wiped that off with my finger and more came out. So it is barely starting to flow, I guess. I only have one of the actual plastic ones. I guess the old time people used metal ones, and you can still get the metal ones, I guess, and all the commercial operations now use plastic tubing. But I only have one of the real collection buckets, and other than that I use plastic milk jugs. I think because I saw Walter use them in Nova Scotia, and I thought, well, that's a good idea, Walter. Probably not seeing a thing here now. I'm trying to get this lid on. There's a hole here where it's supposed to go through. Go through or not. So. Well, it didn't go through, but it's sort of fastened on there, so I guess that will do for that one. Stand back so you get a better look at what I did. I don't know. I suspect it'll be several days, maybe weeks, before it really starts to flow. It's 2 installed in that cluster, and there's nothing dripping from either one. The first one with the pail on it, I did manage to get the wire through the hole. I did take a hammer and tap on it, but it went through, so the cover won't be blowing away, I guess. And it does have a little drip at the end of the spile, but certainly not a flow yet. I'm off to see if I can find 5 more trees to install the last 5 of these. Well, it's just to demonstrate how easily I get turned around anyway. This is another one of the trees that's marked. That's last year's hole, and I was convinced that I must have had it in there wrong. I got the compass out to check, and that is right on the south side, so I don't know. I only have to walk a few paces, now I get turned around in the forest, and I haven't got a clue what direction I'm in anymore. So. What have I done now? Whoa. In and out, I guess. talking to myself here. Here we are. You want to see that full of sap in no time. Right. Well, that is tree number 7, tapped. I'm pleased to report that the DeWalt drill was drilling just as soundly on the last one as it was on the first one. It's one of those cases where you get what you pay for, I guess. I bought it along with the impact wrench, and I used that last summer in building my last coop there, and I'm just amazed at how long the battery lasted and how well the things work. Anyway, all 7 are up. Hopefully I will get something out of it this year. As I've said, this is my 3rd year. First year I got a fair amount, nothing to brag about, but I don't know, less than a quart probably, but after I got it boiled down, but I really enjoyed it. It was nice. Last year the sap just got flowing good, and I had a trip planned with some friends. I went to Europe for 2 weeks, and when I come back, the flow was over. So, hoping for better results this year, I guess. Once again, I can find my way out of here easily just by following my previous snowshoe trail. I don't think I said, but for the benefit of those who aren't really familiar with the process, this is what we call the maple syrup or maple sugar weather. The best time for the flow is days when it's going below freezing, below 0 centigrade Celsius at night, and in the daytime is getting above slightly, and that's sort of what's happening now in between snowstorms. It was snowing fairly hard here a few minutes ago, but now it's back to just barely spitting again. So that works until the temperature goes so that it stays above freezing all night, and then the flow is basically over. And I'm not an expert on it. I understand that probably the sap that you collect then is bitter rather than sweet. So hopefully I have time to get something out of this year and make a little maple syrup. Guess you're probably seeing my trees as we go by. 2 here and 2 up above, which are the first 2 that I did. Altogether I put out 7. I only had 7 of the metal spiles. They're more expensive than the plastic ones, so after reason I suppose. They last longer too, but I bought 7 of them, and if I need to tap more trees, I'll get into using the plastic ones that I still have from previous years. Well, I'm headed back to the house, so I will shut this off now. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully at some point later on in the spring I will be showing you some maple syrup, maybe on pancakes out in the cabin. How does that sound? Thank you for watching.